Welcome to your Odooers. We've already learned how to use Odoo in many ways, but I also need to change a few things and add some fields in order for Odoo to completely fulfill our business's requirements. With Odoo Studio, we don't need to know how to code to make these custom adjustments. We can simply drag and drop to add fields. Then Odoo Studio does its magic to create the new fields and configure all the technical details so we don't have to worry about it. But don't forget, with great power comes great responsibility, as one of our customers' uncle used to say. Since it's quite easy to modify and add fields in our database, I will make sure that what I add is relevant and useful. Now, the focus clearly is put on designing and organizing rather than coding. For example, at my company, Stealthy Wood, most of our customers are encoded in our database with their official names. But since we design tailor-made furniture for them, we need to know their secret alter ego. To keep a record of this, I need to add 3 fields to my customer form under a new tab to keep the form tidy. First, I need to know if my customer has a public identity. There can only be 2 answers to this, yes or no, which is a Boolean type. If the answer is yes, I want my form to display 2 more fields, a text type where I can write the customer's public identity, and finally, a second Boolean field to indicate whether their official identity is secret or not. Now that we know what we want to add, let's see directly in our database how to do this. And by the way, I think I will also change the wallpaper of the main menu. All right, so here I am on my database. Now, the first thing I'm going to do with Studio is change the background of my main view right here. All right, so I'm going to click on the Studio toggle. Okay, so those little tools that you see in the top. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Customization right here and then click on Change Background. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the background. All right, it may take just a moment to load and refresh, but here we have the background. It looks super cool because at Stealthy Wood, we make handmade furniture using wood. So I made that the background. So now what we're going to do is actually go to our contacts. Okay, and once I click on contacts, I'm going to go to the form view. Okay, so I can either go to views, form right here, or I can go to the right and then click on the form view from here as well. Okay, so it takes me to the same place. So one is just a bit of a shortcut compared to the other. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down. As I said before, I want to add a new tab here. So let's go ahead and click on the little plus. Okay, and I'm going to change the name of this new page. All right, so I'm going to call this privacy settings. Okay, it will load automatically as soon as I change and click away. Okay, so we have privacy settings here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this tab. So I'm already here actually. I'm going to add a checkbox. Okay, so I'm going to add, as you'll see on the left, I'm going to scroll down, look for checkbox. And again, I click, drag it, drop it where I would like it to be. Okay. And once it's added, I'm going to go ahead and select it, and I'm going to change the label here as well. All right, so I'm going to call this has a public identity. Okay, I'm going to click away, let it load, let it save. Okay, now after I've done that, I'm going to go back and click on add again. And this time I'm going to add a text. So once again, I just drag and drop. I'm going to drop it right below. Okay. And as soon as it has appeared, I'm going to rename this text as well. Okay, so I'm going to call this public identity. Okay, I'm going to click away. Now, with the public identity, I am also going to say that this will be an invisible field, all right? I don't want to appear unless a certain condition has been met. So I'm going to click invisible right here. Okay, and as we see, it already disappears, but that doesn't mean it wasn't added. We just simply have to go to View, and then we're going to click on this button, Show Invisible Elements, and then we're going to see that it actually does exist on the form. And we know that it's invisible because we have these little diagonal lines on the field. All right, so for example, this invoicing tab is also invisible. All right, but I'm going to go and click on this once again. And then where I clicked invisible, it says conditional. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Okay, and I'm going to add a rule. All right, so first of all, I'm going to search for that field I had created earlier, which has a public identity. And then I'm going to say is and not set false and save. Okay. Once I have done that, I'm going to go ahead and add another checkbox. Okay, so let's go back to add, go to checkbox again. I'm going to drag it and drop it under public identity. Okay, I'm going to rename this as well. So let's go to label. I'm going to call this secret identity. And I'm actually going to add a helpful tooltip as well, or a help tooltip. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to paste something that I copied earlier. So it says, check this box if there's no public knowledge that the alter ego is the same person. Okay. And then for the widget, I'm going to go ahead and select this as a Boolean toggle. All right. Okay. Now I'm also going to make this invisible. And then I'm going to click on conditional. I'm going to add the same condition. Okay, so let's go ahead and search for has a public identity, is not set, and save. Okay, so we can go ahead and close this. And then we're going to create a new contact. Okay, so let's go ahead and create Peter Waterman. Okay, I'm going to add his email, pw@example.com, not very original. Okay, and we're going to go to that tab that I created. So privacy settings, I'm going to check has a public identity. So as we see, the two invisible fields are not appearing yet, but once I check this, they will. All right, and we have both of these fields. So first of all, we need the public identity, which is going to be Chameleon Man. All right, and for secret identity, we're going to check yes. Okay, so I'm just going to select this. And then I'm going to save. Okay, but let's go back to the studio toggle and we're going to go to our list view. And I actually want their public identity to appear here in the list view. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down through existing fields. Okay, it's in alphabetical order. I'm going to select has a public identity. I'm going to drag it to the top. Actually, I'm selecting the wrong one here. I'm sorry. I'm going to go down further to public identity, okay, because we want the name. We want the public identity. Okay, so let's go ahead and find it. It's right here. I'm going to drag that and drop it. Okay, so I have that public identity field right here, and it has already been filled with Chameleon Man. So that's the only contact where we have a public identity, and we see it right there. Okay, so as you can see, it's super easy to use Studio, and it's very intuitive. All right, so that's the basics of Studio, and that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.